Theme song. Stardate 471. Captain Annie and the initial crew head over and look in the bright windows of the SCS Lotus, or as some have asked to call it, the SCS Phoenix, which I quite like. Tristan Paul Pastanao, thank you for your comment. Annie, Captain Annie, regardless of the name of this ship, sets right to work. Tanya has to take a big dump, and that's fair, but Captain Annie knows that there's things to be done if we want this ship shape. But you'll notice that she doesn't wear a spacesuit, and that's because the heat in this ship is nominal. Things are looking good. Things are in a decent spot. Bora Dumir makes a great point, something that I've forgotten to do, so I got to put in a few more doors here and there. He said, first of all, the firing up was awesome. You were absolutely right to do it that way. I feel vindicated. But another thing that he says is, why shouldn't the hallways be more separated to control for fire and stuff like that? And I do agree with that, especially around this area here. So I think we'll get in some double doors here. We've done some previous trades have gotten us a lot more infra blocks, so we're good there. But Captain Annie is certainly wanting to get us up and running. Ship shape and Bristol fashion, I believe is the expression, as soon as we can. We should probably seal off the... Yeah, let's do that. Double doors right here and here. We should seal off kind of this area in the back. But Captain Annie walks around. She's surveying the ship, some things that need to get done. First of all, let's move the navigation console up here so she can fly correctly. I wish we could put people in these seats. Like, I wish I could put Captain Annie in one of the seats right here so she could, properly watch the ship being controlled. This hallway looks quite dark. As Captain Annie walks by, she makes a work order to place a few lights in this hall. This is supposed to be home for the future now. This is supposed to be where we live forever. So she wants to see it quite happy and bright. Walking back into this section, though, Captain Annie takes a look at the future plans for the med bay, and Captain Annie scoffs. Now, I know this entrance here was placed so that we could drop casualties off. They could go straight into the med bay. But Captain Annie actually had a different plan. And, of course, I mean that I did. I had a different plan. And I'm going to show you what that plan is right now. Take a look. If we copy this side of the ship onto this side over here, take a look at what we're dealing with. All right? Not a lot of space. There's this whole area which I think could make a great barracks. Because right now here it's going to be our prison, which, still isn't completed. It's a very tight prison quarters. Like, this is very intense. But there's enough spots for everybody to at least sit and relax. It's even got an arcade machine. There's a lot going on. But this is a fair amount of space that we can use on this side. Yes, a barracks would be good. However, what if, now hear me out, the med bay was over there? Okay, it's still near an entrance, so what we could do is task this airlock to actually not do trade or refills. I mean, actually, refill I think is just for oxygen, isn't it? Yeah, so we'll keep refill. But we could allow trade here. We could have a slightly larger design here. The wall maybe comes up here, and the hallway's a little different or something. I'm not sure. There's some stuff to look into here. But even if we just copied this exact shape, we could probably get a fair amount of beds in here. Without all this, the necessary crap for feeding prisoners, of course. Then we could get all this space cleared out, and now look at what we're getting. Now this is going to be much better at resources. Much better at holding on to our recycler, metal refinery, a couple of composters, if not more than a couple of composters, perhaps. This whole area is going to become actually a lot more useful to us once we get that going. That means we won't need to try to fit things in here. Maybe we can even get this stuff out of here. We can make another room up here. Although I don't hate this part of the ship. So I think this will be more resource over here, more resource development. Then, of course, we'll have a little bit of we'll probably need some closets, of course. But then this space here on this side of the ship can be a fairly nice barracks, maybe 3 or 4 bunk beds here. And so we'll have to go through the schedules because we might not be able to assign beds. We might not be able to assign all these beds, unfortunately. I'd like everybody to have their own apartments and then have these be just like, this should be Shooty Team 2, for instance. And then there's another spot with 2 bunk beds. Where did I put it? Well, basically, that's what I'm saying, is like we have a Shooty team have their own room, then officers have their own rooms, but unfortunately for right now, we might need to make, a pretty hefty-sized barracks to make enough room. Another thing that Captain Annie noticed, me, is I'm going to need to move this power generator 1 over. I don't think I'm too worried about, over mass capacitizing this thing. I think we're going to be okay. It is pretty close, though. It's close to 11,000, so we got to be careful. So this engine's going to end up moving over here. All right, we're going to move this engine 1 over, and that should give us enough space for at least 1, if not 2, hull stabilizers. Because I don't really want to get rid of these hull stabilizers, even though I'm building one up here. But if we have a stabilizer here and here, I just don't think that's enough. For this size of ship, that's not enough stabilization. Clearly, we've got some power grid issues over there, but I don't know. She's not necessarily fight ready just yet. But to get all this done, we have a fair amount of work ahead of us. I'm thinking what I'll do is I'll dismantle this stuff, though. Because if I dismantle all this, we can start dismantling basically this whole space and start working it out. And designing out the rest of this. Like we can move this engine over here. That way, people will transition to using the forward areas, which they already are anyway. And I think it's about time that we start transitioning to her final form. Welcome to Solid Content and welcome to Space Haven. Let's get to work. In the midst of all this work, Joachim has decided to join us, so we're going to go take a look at what Joachim's deal is. Thanks for joining the team. Hopefully you've got a decent shooting skill. So minus your fatty acids and all that stuff, you'd be decent at weapons, and your surrender is really low. You're quite lazy, though, but that doesn't matter because Team 3 is low on crew. So welcome aboard the third regiment. I think that would be kind of cool. Okay, how do I, select just Joachim, there we are. And let's change his outfit, of course, to match the rest of his new crew, for which he now works. This section of the ship, as though powered by some great ambition, has disassembled quite quickly. The crew is not messing around. And I do like that, because the person leading this crew is often messing around. Me, again, not Captain Annie. She really doesn't mess around. Keeping an eye on our resources, though, is always very important because at some point things are going to get pretty dire. And it's one of those things, it kind of reminds me of playing like Banished, where it's like things can get dire very quickly before you realize that you're like, oh, I've for sure screwed up. So just to copy the shape on the other side so we know we're kind of dealing with the same sort of look, that would come up to there. And then over here would be about where the hallway... No, I gotta remember that wall now. Okay, that's gonna be hard to measure. I wish we had... Oh, so it's 1 down from there. Okay, that's fine. I wish we had some measuring tapes. Would be nice. So we'll put a door here as well. To kind of, yeah, it's a slightly offset door. That's right. Then this hallway comes up here, and there's some unused space there that I think we could put some things, various things, but I think for now, a spacesuit locker is a perfectly fine addition to what we put there. But we are getting very close to having a ship in a complete shape. We did have to power it up a little early, but that is kind of par for the course. Like, we saw that coming, I think, because we knew we wouldn't be able to totally retrofit like the entire ship without, getting rid of this construction area after we had booted up some of it. So I believe this wall would come up to about here and then across like so. And then did we have any doors in there at all? No doors whatsoever. Very interesting choice, if I do say so about my own design. And it's not built yet, so we can't build anything there, but that's what that back section looks like, and that is more or less our finished engine bay. I love it. Across from this door here, we would have the shuttle bay. So that's going to go right there, is that right? Yeah, so we shouldn't have built some walls there, but I did, and that's my bad. But we do have the offset door going in here, so that's good. That will lead us to our hallway, which I believe makes sense. Right through there, right about there. There, it's perfect. It lines up perfectly. Okay, this design is working. It might be a while before we can build these shuttle bays. The hod pangers we should be able to build by simply taking apart the ones on the moving on up. and moving the resources and even the shuttle over there as well. Let's get... Oh, they worked... Yeah, they are. They're working way faster than I am, so that's good. I hesitate to place these because it might just kill a lot of resources, but let's do that for now. And hod pangers right back here. Basically, I'm just racing to be able to design the most important part, which is the new shuttle bay. So we'll bring that across like so. And then I believe there were some doors, yeah, right about there. In this section here. To get us to the two, in between the two shuttles like that. It's not perfectly lined up, but it doesn't necessarily need to be at that point. And then, of course, we have a double-wide hallway starting here. And going all the way across to give us a slight hallway access here to get back into this airlock section. So if I did this, though, I could have even more room, although that looks very tiny. I'm not sure what I would do with that space, to be honest. I almost want to, I could just carry it forward, though, at least. And this area here, that leaves this area here without storage capacity, but maybe we could do, like a salvage station here. No, that doesn't quite fit. Okay. So if we did this build, exactly mirroring the way we did on the other side of the ship, that would, oh yeah, let's cancel these right now. We don't need those built just yet. Don't worry, we'll get them built though. So if we copy this build exactly as is, it does raise the question of like, is there enough room for everything that we need? So it kind of goes up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces. There we are. So we don't need this one. So that's our sort of entrance area. We could put some storage here or maybe just some more bot bays. Right now, this doesn't need to be there. Let's dismantle that. Let's set rules, select all, and empty those. Do we have bots built here currently? Oh, so we need some plastic. Okay, good to know. We do have a chemical refinery up here, and we don't have the stuff, but I think we do over on the moving on up. So let's actually start transferring. It's going to be a lot of work to transfer everything. So let's transfer, like, for now, let's transfer over, 20-ish pieces here. Let's transfer all the raw chemicals. We'll need those eventually. And what else do we want to transfer? Let's transfer this. Let's transfer those chemicals. There we go. So we'll transfer over all that stuff, and that's going to keep everyone busy for a while, and while we build all this stuff out. But the main thing I want to get to today is what is this med bay going to look like? So this wall kind of comes across here, I believe. Kind of cuts through the middle of that, which is a little annoying, but that's what gives us the shape that we need for all the weaponry, so that's fine. And that does let us have a hull window right here, but that doesn't quite look good, so we need the smaller one. Yes, this is a med bay, so of course it's going to have most of the, all of these are going to need to be windows. Good, good, good. That's going to look good. I think this is a good idea. I think Captain Annie's idea was a very good one. But it's just a matter of how do we line this. This is the space we have to make our med bay. Now, I'm pretty obsessed with having, it's not efficient by any means, but I really like having, oh yeah, right, it's in food. I hate that. I'm pretty obsessed with having an autopsy room being by itself. So we could do that here. Storage, can we do anything interesting there? Not really, because we could place that there, but we can't get around it. So that leaves a fair amount of open space, unfortunately. But we can have a wall here. And let's go with something like this and this. And then just move this around like that. So we can at least put some windows here. We can put, we could actually get rid of that. We could put some window there as well. So you can kind of see into the autopsy room. Although, I'm seeing now that it's actually not going to fit there, is it? Because you can't get to this side. So I actually need to rethink that design a little bit. So everybody stop doing things for a bit. And get out. Okay, I'm going to click on this to keep the walls up. And okay, stop it. And I want to think about, what fits where. That's the main thing to do. I really want to get a medical bed. Lots of medical beds is the dream, of course. The research lab, if possible, and a autopsy room, which is wasteful, I realize. Did it even fit over here? It kind of fits there, but if I put a wall across, right, okay. You're hearing Mrs. Solid sneezing in the background, and that's just how life is.
Forgive me.
Okay. So, what if we look at this space for medical beds instead?
Everybody forgive
Okay.
me.
She wants your forgiveness for the sneezes. So we could put medical beds there and or some storage. And then, yeah, this area, it's going to be tough to make this area used properly, aside from, like, power nodes, or maybe just like maybe we just stuff a music box over there, whatever those are called. A jukebox. It's right here. It's listed right here, and I couldn't remember. But if we were to put med beds in here, what would this look like? First of all, that's one of the better med beds in Space Haven. One of the better placements I've ever seen, if I do say so myself. We can get a couple there. A double door here, maybe. One there. So that lets us have med beds all the way up here. Now, here's what I'm thinking. Maybe this needs to be an entrance to the medical bay. Because if it's not, then a wounded person has to walk from here all the way down this hall to get in here. So maybe that's just an entrance. And then maybe we have life support. We should have our research lab right there, maybe. It'd be nice if we could put it, over there. Like, because then they come in the door and the person's right there. I almost want it to be like this, so that you come in and you have to deal with the medical personnel. Okay. I think the real problem comes down to the usage of space. So I'm going to go back on this idea here of these doors being like different and kind of pinching in a little bit. I'm going to go here with the wall, or no, maybe like make it a little more accessible there. And then we're going to have the walls come in like this. Let's get rid of all this stuff to begin with, just to kind of get an idea of what's going on in this place, because it's just chaos right now. Okay, then we can do storage right here for medical supplies. We might need some more space in the future. And then I think let's do our autopsy table. It's just so big. Okay, so we would need to put it here, which would need a wall here. Or, yes, okay, wait. Then, it's got to be this far down like that. So we have to move this over to here. Put the wall across here. Now, we'll probably put in windows instead, but, like, let's think about this for a second here. Oh, it doesn't let us. Okay, that's fine. We'll put in windows there. And let's put in a 3x window right here, I think, is going to look pretty good. And here's the thing. What I'm building is overkill. Like, this is not necessary. Okay, so I think we can all agree that a better design is possible. Oh, but this still gets me... Okay, yeah. I still get my nice... Like, that's just such a cozy med bed right there. And I think I can... Oh, darn. I could do one here, though, because you can walk through and around that space. So this area here will probably have to have... I mean, if we're being honest, it's going to need a power node over there. Probably. Then we can get... Okay, can we get the research lab in here at all? Because I think the research lab... Oh, okay. I think the research lab would be good. And again, it's also overkill. Like, the thing is, we don't need the research lab. We don't need any of that anymore. I'll put a bed here. And then what... Oh, can I get one more, like... Is there any way to get 2 more med beds? Where are we at right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 5 med beds in here. Could do that. What does that get us? 1 more? No, not really. Yeah, we just can't get around unless I put it there. It would have to go right there, and then that cuts off spot for that. So we could at least, I mean, the worst case scenario, we have more storage, so that's okay. That's not the end of the world. And I could, like, move this one like this, which is at least visually more fun to look at. We get another small storage in right there. And then, I don't know, should we put, like, furniture? What about, like, a table right here? Right? I don't know, there's a table right there, just because there's... space not being used. So, here's the thing. The current med bay had, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 beds. And this has 2 or 5. Okay, so here's the thing. All right, here's the thing, folks. If I get rid of this, table here, that research table, I could put in another med bed here. I could make a smaller door here, right? And put in another med bed there. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay? I could then get rid of this, and I could pack this thing with just med beds and no autopsy table. And you know what? Maybe I'm tempted to do that. Maybe I'm tempted to have, maybe this is an office instead of an autopsy room. But I think having the autopsy room, as far as like good sci-fi LARPing, is important. Now, yes, it's cut down this space. We'll have to put some robot stuff there or something. But, like, for the LARP of it all, this is nice to have. And then the research table, which we aren't using anymore. We have no research left to do. This is a late-game ship. But, like, just so we know, I could have way more med beds in here. And maybe we'll redesign it after. But this is the complicated, very tight quarters space that we currently have. We need to do wall nodes if we're going to do it this way. We can do lights here, maybe a wall node on the corner here. Or we kind of need to get, honestly, if we're being honest with ourselves, we need to get rid of that. We could put this chair there, though. Leave that there. And then we have, we have no wall space along here to build anything. That has to stay like that. Okay, let's take a look at this. Yeah, so we're going to be doing, like, floor nodes at this point. And then, yeah, one light there, maybe there. I don't think that lets us build. No, that's not going to let it build. So we need one there, maybe there, one here, and a bunch in that room. So, yeah, again, this is not the best design. So, I mean, I'm so close, though. It's so close to working in my mind. We could get rid of that. I don't know if you can put a light there, though, anyway. Oh, you can get a light in there. So we sneak a light in there. I don't know why we can't put a light on that corner. What the heck, even? Is that not built? Maybe that's why. No, that's built. Yeah, why can't we put a light there? Ah, that's dumb. Well, we can put one there. Okay. We can't put any on these corners here. But we could put a light here or here, at least. We could put a light there. And I suppose we could get a light right lamp light right here. Now, I think this area here needs to be reserved for a power node. We'll need a full-on power node there, and then some, like, wall nodes and stuff. Because what is the general power connection over here? It goes, I mean, it's pretty weak in this area, so, I mean, I imagine it'll be somewhat similar here. But as for a flex, for a space like this isn't terrible. We could put another light. If we need it, we can put another light right here. Which is sort of a weird spot to put a light, I guess. We can put it at the base of that bed. And see if that kind of makes it feel better. But we'll see what kind of comfort rating we get out of this. And that's what we're looking at. Let's build it. Let's build it and just see. To do this, we should actually, wait. Okay. Let's, delete this guy and this cozy one in the corner and this one, and then we'll move these guys over there. So we'll move that guy over to there. Perfect. And we'll move these ones over. And then I think the next thing we need to do is design up the the weapons area, which you've seen already, so we'll skip through that. And then take a look at what we're going to do with the barracks and how that's going to look. With the layout all finished in this, I guess, what side is this? The port weapons area. I've noticed that we can have this wall actually a little closer than I originally thought. Because once these are built, you can, I think, place doors like right over this area, which has become floor. These are actually a very efficient thing, like especially in these, for example, these 3 wide hallways. I could eventually, if I felt like it, if we felt like it, and you all voted and told me I had to, we could put a bunch of solar panels like right along here, right along this hall. Well, not that one, I guess. Any 3 wide hallways is what I'm saying. We could put one right here and here. This whole thing could be full of solar panels if we needed it. And I do think it's a desperation thing. Like if all of a sudden we're finding that we're basically running out of power, we can install a bunch of these because they really take up very little space. I really like their footprint. Once you get one built, we can put a Hull stabilizer across from it. Then we can get the door here. So I might actually, like, do the same and put the wall here, which will then open up 2 blocks here on this side and allow for a little bit of redesigning work here, or at least some storage or something. So let's get that done over there. But over here is where we want to look at some real nice new changes. I think, obviously, we're going to need to take a look at our links here. No, not move an item. Links, thank you. We're going to need to figure out how do we get this guy... So this will have to connect somewhere else in the end, but this guy needs to connect over to a power node. So we need one close enough to that we can carry on the connection. And if we do it there, that leaves us with a fairly large... You know what I mean? Like, it helps us spread it out more, but that's a fairly large utility closet, and I definitely don't want to do that. However, what we could do is get a oxygen generator in there, maybe, and a gas scrubber, and shove those over in the corner enough. Something like, I don't know, whatever, something like that. Right, then we have airlock. We can get a spacesuit locker in here. Maybe we don't need the gas scrubber as well. I don't know. And then we can put a power node in here. We can get it quite a lot further, obviously. But like if we do something like that, that at least gets us partway there to a nice little utility closet. And then I think gives us a bunch of room for a fairly nice barracks. A barracks, or at least a barracks in a small apartment or something. Because what do we have right now? 1, 2, 3, 4... 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Okay, well, you know what? I shouldn't have counted. I wasn't paying attention to my counting, but the point is we have about 20, 21, 22 beds, and that is still not enough. So I think we need to make a fairly open concept barracks, maybe, that has some living quarters and another like mini cafeteria, maybe a mini one. So what might that look like? Let's say you walk into this barracks, right, and it's like, well, you know what I mean, like, welcome to the barracks. You know what I mean, like, make yourself at home. Okay, so then you got a door into the rooms. Okay, but then the door into the rooms has a window into this little internal barracks. Now, how many beds is that? I'm not leaving myself enough bedroom, am I? So let's go forward a bit here. Move this door up to like that. That's going to kill off one of the windows, I'm aware, but it's going to create a little bit of some nice like bunk space. So then we can go something like this. 1, 2 here. We could do, I believe you can enter them like that. So we can actually get like quite a few bunks in there. Then we need a life support air vent here. And you know what we could do still is we could still assign these. So this whole room here gets assigned. Oh, it's going to need a gas scrubber nearby. But it didn't need me to zoom in that much. I apologize. How do I get this gas scrubber in here? There's got to be a way. There's got to be a way. I bet there is. And again, feel free to hit me up on the, in the comments and be like, you're an absolute idiot. Here's how you do it. Okay, gas scrubber right here. Okay. I swear there's like it's Jenga. There's a way to get a power node, a gas scrubber, and something in like a pretty small, compact place. The real question is, do I have enough oxygen being generated in this area? I think the answer is going to be no. We could potentially move one to down here. This little space could have one. And we do need a gas scrubber. The only reason we need a gas scrubber nearby is because of all of these CO2 producing people. We could lower the bed number as well. That is an option. It's always an option. But I'm trying to get a bunch of people, asleep in this thing. We got some windows on it for, beauty. We'll get a nice big window here. I think the max window right there. Oh, yeah, that's awesome. We can get some lights here and all around here. And this is a nice little space for them to just sort of hang out. Let's play with fate here and move things a little more. See if we can't build this into their, like, canteen area. Life support facility. Now, we technically should have a kitchen and an algae dispenser in here, but these things are massive. What about just an algae dispenser? This is certainly a more, it's a more Spartan lifestyle. And then we have, we could do a couch situation right there. Oh, yeah. Actually, that's looking pretty good. Not a lot of light, though. If we do it this way, there's not a lot of light. But we could move this like so. And that gets us to put a light there. And we can put a light here. Put a round table right here. And I think that leaves us a little corner there. Yes, a little corner, which we can't build anything on anyway. We know that to be true. So we're going to put a little jukebox here in the corner. We're going to put a light there. We're going to put a light here and here. I think that's going to work. Now, this space here, we could mess around with this. A, first of all. A. We get another window. Okay, and then B. Maybe the beds are a little more... something like this, maybe? Now, what I'm thinking this allows us to do... put this here. We get a little more space in this area. We can get some lights here, obviously. A light here. We might not need this many beds. Worst case scenario, though, we can get in a nice bunk. Right, right, a staggered one maybe, right there. We can do another one there. That gives us a couple of spots for lights. But for now, let's just have that one stay there. We'll have that vent. And we'll see if that's enough barrack space. If we can get everybody sleeping comfortably on split shifts, this feels quite nice. That feels like a successfully finished back section of the ship. Almost one that I would want to copy over here. Once we empty out this, though, this is where the real magic happens, where we're going to decide what this, you know, industrial area looks like. Then that kind of changes this. Instead of a diplomat's entrance, which maybe it still kind of could be, we're going to have some storage here, I think, for the industrial area. Because I was noticing that we don't really have a, you know, quote-unquote cargo bay. We could take all the robots out of this area and make it more of like a stately entrance. I'm thinking maybe this is our stately entrance, unfortunately, on the left side here. If we allow trade here, that will get spread out throughout the ship a lot faster. If we allowed trade here, that could also, yeah, it's just kind of, these two are out of the way, I guess is what I'm saying. But it does allow for lots of security options, lots of boarding, and taking our ship back if and when we'll lose it. And you're watching solid content, so you know that we are going to lose this ship from time to time. I think I have enough infra blocks here to put in another round of doors on the end of these hallways. And then the real challenge is going to be... getting all this powered up. Because I think I've got... what do I have? I have a power node or a spot for something here. You know what? We also already have an airlock there. So why don't we get a little less stupid about what we're doing? Get this oxygen generator and this gas scrubber right here. And we could even close it in further. I bet I can get 3 items in there. I bet I can get my power node in there. Oh, come on. Let me get the power node in there. Okay. We'll figure this out. All right, there we have it. I sort of figured it out. It fits in a 2x3 space, but the door has to be in the middle. It can't go widthways like where we have it currently. So I'm going to move this wall out to here, and that actually gives us just a bit more playing space, which is quite nice. I think that's still all going to fit, so we can move this back even further here and stuff those beds in there. And that's going to give us maybe a little more room for light. Yeah, we can get, like, I guess, one more light right here, so that's quite nice. We've got this window and everything. I believe they can still access those beds that are shoved into that little cubby. And it's all starting to feel a lot more roomy. It's almost feeling like it needs more beds here. I can't really fit more. But maybe... No, I'm going to let sleeping dogs lie, knowing that we can get another bed right here if we need it. It feels roomy, but that's okay. It's okay. I have to let myself make roomy structures sometimes. That being said, I do still want it to have a little bit of that submarine vibe. You know what I mean? It's got to still be, you know, a bit tight quarters. It's got to be a little bit like we're all trying to make it work together and try to survive together kind of a thing. Going off of this, looks like to make this work, I'm going to need a power node here to mirror this section. It's a bummer. I wanted everything behind, you know, secure closets and everything, but it's clear that I'm going to need a power node. I'm going to want to carry some proper power to other spots. Yeah, and that gets me to that one. So this one hopefully will get me out over to this one. We'll find out. But yeah, I don't want to just have it all stop down to floor nodes just yet. So we're going to make sure we connect that up. Then we'll connect up this other power generator. Although we don't seem to be needing it. But I imagine we will. Yeah, I imagine we will once we're doing some proper, you know, resource creation in here. With the ship construction continuing apace, I set about taking a look around the ship. We've got some work orders already set up here within our chemical refinery and our recycler. For some reason, they've just decided to drop off a couple of human corpses here. So I guess we need recyclers up soon so we can recycle these corpses. Not sure why they delivered corpses here. I'm not sure why there was a work order to bring them over, but here they are. In the meantime, these robots have all been built, so we probably need to name them. So I'm probably obviously going to name this guy. I'm thinking I'm going to name this guy Gizmo. All right, that seems to make sense for a good old salvage robot. This guy, we're going to name this one Senor Clink. No, Senor Rust. That's Senior Rust. A really big fan of Senior Rust. This one over here, this one here is just going to be, you know what's a really cute name for a robot? I've always wanted a robot to do salvage for me, and I've always wanted to name it Maggie, so that's that robot there. And then this robot here is going to be Denise Richards. Did I spell that right? I don't know. Maybe it's 2 N's. But there we are. Our robots are named. We have this slowly coming into place here. It's taking a while to get all these links built because I need to order new parts over here from the main ship. But as you can see, things are starting to get just a little quieter here. I mean, not that quiet. There's still quite a lot of people. Captain Owen is now securely the captain of this vessel, keeping things going. But at some point, I think it's going to be time to wake these folks up and show them the world that they've been missing. But for now, we have our full command center built here. Do we have enough infra blocks on the Lotus? We got 3 infra blocks, so I'm gonna put some doors in here. And I kind of really want to start designing some of this look. Let's put a window over here. We haven't done these offices yet. I know we're working on it. I'll get to those at some point shortly, but for now, I kind of want to get some design going on. Maybe the blue is nice, but maybe a different floor in here. And we got to think about what these hallways are going to look like. I think these are perfect for the apartments. I think there's a significant lack of light in here. Nobody wants to poop in the dark. Or even in this, whatever this weird, sickly vibe is. That means this washroom is probably also lightless. Let's get a light in there. There we go. And I believe we'll change that style to the, that cushy kind of thing. I'll show you what I've decided, I think, in the end. But for now, I don't want to waste your time while you watch me do this. Get that floor there. But I could spend, I promise you, I could spend all day doing the floors and the walls in here. But just to give you a sense of what I want to do, where is my carpet? There was what I'm calling carpet. I think it's this one. Nope, that's a tile. It's kind of hard to see the texture sometimes. I think maybe it's this guy. There we go. So I'm calling that carpet. I'm not sure if it is carpet, but I like it. It feels a little more homey. Now this should probably be a tile of some kind in there. Yeah, we want that to be tile in the bathroom. So to give you an idea of what I'm going to do, I'm thinking, yeah, like tiles, obviously, in places where tiles should be, and then carpets in some of these apartments, so they're quite nice. Some sort of a light tile in here, something friendly like. What does a white tile look like in here? I mean, I think I like that. I think that looks good. It's not too... I mean, it's fairly prominent, isn't it? Let's get that done. Now, at first glance, it's like, oh, cute, they've turned the lights off so they can sleep. I don't think that's what's happening here. I think we forgot to put in some lights. But wouldn't that be so cute if they could turn their lights off? Axel, if you can hear me, please provide that functionality. Thank you. All right, we'll see if that's enough light for these folks here, and these guys need a bit of light as well in that apartment. So we'll get those ones lit up and feeling a little bit more like these ones, a little more like comfort. You heard me, comfort. And then that means over here we're going to need the same treatment with the walls and the floors. But while I do this, I'm actually going to pull up our engines, and we need to head out of here. All right? We have sat here for too long, and we need to start exploring. And this ship needs to take another trip to the stars. Stardate 474. The Lotus, or maybe the Phoenix today we'll call it. It still kind of looks like a flower, a little bit like a bird. Pulls up next to a civilian star base. And we drop out of warp to do a little bit of trading and continue building. But hopefully enough trading that we can get some decent pieces here. Let's see what we've got. We have 10,000 doubloons in profit, so not a lot. But that's all right. We're going to get these 3 Energium cubes. I think we're doing okay, sort of okay, for, where did our trade go? Yeah, I guess that deletes the trade. We're doing sort of okay for our Hyperium, but we should keep an eye on that for sure. And let's bring over some of that water. Then maybe 2 infra blocks for good measure. I don't think we'll be in here too long. I think we'll be jetting off to the stars fairly shortly from this place. We continue hopping about throughout this galaxy. I know that we are going to need some of these other resources that aren't so basic. So we're going to mine these very quickly, but we're going to try to keep moving because anytime we drop into a place without water or energy, well, we're wasting water and energy. This ship is not fully self-sufficient yet. We have to finish building this, but I have ordered a few more power blocks, basically, so that we can kind of finish up this area. It is not quite ready. And then, obviously, some of these spots are going to take a little while more to fill in. But the main one to get done today is, of course, our... we should just call that our resource core. But in the meantime, the brave Hodpangers launch. This might be the first time they've launched from the Lotus. Miles got cold feet. The one he was headed to, he stopped using it, I guess. Not sure what happened there. This one is not ready to go yet. But it is a sign of life coming out of the Lotus. And, well, just maybe, she's starting to bloom. Her shields are not holding up very well under the batter of some micrometeoroids, so I'm hoping to get out of here pretty soon. I might even ask the shuttles to return home. We don't need that last little chunk of gold. Let's get Wednesday home, and let's leave that chunk of gold behind, too, because I do not want to start poking holes in this ship, and I fear that we are close to doing that. Denkarion has moved automatically to the shields. He has not. We're going to make sure somebody's on those shields, and hopefully bringing those shields up before we start getting holes. I'm seeing a couple of little damages here. A micro breach has developed in one of our sectors here. Do we have anybody? Lyson is already on it. And we'll surely patch that hole shortly. Looks like we have maybe another one here. Not really sure where that one's going. I don't see a hole there, but it seems like there's maybe a micro breach. Or maybe they're standing on it. I just can't see. Annie, can you move? Or is Annie sucking up all that oxygen? I'm just not sure. At any rate, we have Lyson head over here to do some repairs immediately. I don't think I'll vent that off. I think we're just about ready to jump out of here anyway. And so we leave a few gold behind, but that's all right. We continue with our adventure up a little into these sectors here. And then I think we'll go north and see what's going on. Looks like we have the military alliance here. So they've left. Okay. Well, unfortunately, we won't get to trade some of our prisoners or our merchants away, but this is the kind of sector we're looking for. We can do a little bit of... Nope, we're not trading anymore, but that's all right. Let's drop in here, and with our beautiful broad ship, let's get a couple more resources so we can keep limping through this galaxy. And then let's send our first away mission out of the Lotus. 9 is a very nice haul for Energium, so I'm very excited to see that. We'll send it over to the Moving On Up so it can get processed right away, as we don't have the melting abilities on the Lotus just yet. Or, well, we do for water, we do. But we don't have an energy processor just yet. And let's see which team is feeling the most up to a little bit of a trip. Looks like team number 1. Kaylee is on a different schedule than everyone else, but that's all right. We're going to wake her up. And we're going to do our first trip to another vessel. Now, where is Miles, though? Let's see if I can find Miles. That's Miles. We're going to return Miles home and get him on this shuttle to do this away mission. It is truly an honor for Captain Annie and her primary shooty team. We gotta come up with a cooler name for that, but you know what I mean. To watch her go and perform her first away mission after leaving the Lotus. The automatic design isn't terrible. I will say the paint is not too bad, but I might want to play around with some paint options there in the future. Not sure if that would make a very good video, but I know this will at least. So let's get this ship aboard and find out what happened to this vessel. Looks like there's a lot of aliens. Looks like maybe these folks had come together and they had decided to build their first large vessel. Kaylee gave up immediately. Not sure what that's about. What's Kaylee's deal here? Should Kaylee even be on this? She's a wimp. Oh, that's why. Surrender is 30%. Okay, we need to get Kaylee off of the captain's team right away. She does not deserve the honor. And Miles takes 2 pretty bad hits right away. This is starting to look a little dire here, all kind of because of Kaylee. That was not good. Okay, you guys need to be working on, yeah, that person there. Okay, Miles takes another hit here, but hopefully nothing regressing. Because, okay, that's not great for Miles. Miles is not feeling good. We need to, like, deselect Kaylee, because it's really causing problems. Oh, goodness. Oh, he missed. Okay, good. So when we were making that move, he missed, but we can maybe pull Miles out of here because Miles isn't doing so well. Is that 2? No, it's not 2. Oh my goodness. Okay, that was a lot of haulers though. That was bad. Miles has very low stamina. This team is actually not doing that well, and Kaylee is causing nothing but problems. Well, now she's just gonna go be fodder for them, I guess. Let's pop that door open and help save Kaylee. Oh my goodness, they are moving really quickly through Kaylee. Okay, Kaylee has become a liability for sure. Although she was a bit of a meat wall for a bit there, but it seemed like they were really making quick business of her. Kaylee is down for the most part, but I don't even think she has any regressing wounds out of that. Okay, this was a spicy vessel, to be honest with you. This is probably one of the spicier, more infested ships I've ever been on. I mean, how many haulers was that on this kind of a small ship? That was like 5. Spawning more eggs, spawning more spiders all the time. Captain Annie takes it out, no problem whatsoever. We explore the rest of the ship. The Spiral Dawn has now been explored. Marie, I want you to pick her up and get back to the vessel. Captain Annie and Miles are pretty much out of stamina, so we're going to take you guys back to the vessel as well. And was it worth it? We find out. It was... You know what? We'll call that worth it, but only... It would have been more worth it if Kaylee wasn't such a garbage operative. So we're definitely going to be... let's get her on this vessel now and get her some medical attention if she needs it. Oh, Captain Annie actually is going to stay behind and go and see what the data logs have to say with this ship. In the meantime, the salvage bots are surely on their way over to take what they can. The nearby Merchant Federation has found some of their refugees, so we're going to give those up, and we're going to take this settlement, I believe. Yeah, we'll take that over to the Lotus. And I think the merchants are probably going to be in a pretty good mood with us. So why don't we do a little bit of trading with them and see what they have for us. They've got a lot of pretty useful stuff that we should always be buying, so we're going to do that, even though it might put us a little bit more in the poorhouse. We got to be careful, but I would say this is worth it. And let's get that ice cube while we're at it. Oh, let's get all these ice cubes while we're at it. Okay, so we're going to do a pretty hefty trade with them and fall into a little bit of deficit, I would say. But it's going to be worth it to get 20 ice and then another 20 ice. I mean water, sorry, once you melt it. Oh, that's going to be worth it. Oops, to this ship. Watching how quick all of the salvage bots tear this ship apart makes me think a few things. Thing number one, I'm so glad for the comments on the channel because you guys were right. The salvage bots are pretty amazing. And the second thing it makes me think about is the history of these ships. How many ships have I left now? I've left the Starlighter behind. I've left the Fourchette, I believe it was called. I can't remember. That was maybe even a different season. But it starts to make me kind of feel sad for those ships that are out there in the inky blackness, sitting at a comfortable minus 200, minus 150, unless there's a solar flare in the area. They just sit there, waiting for somebody like us to come and either pick them apart further or try to make them a home, like I am in Streamhaven, where we tried to make a derelict vessel our home. Hopefully, she never falls to the same fate. If you look around here, I've decided to go with, like, yeah, some of that. This is some of the carpeting look. And then, of course, the tile. I also went with the sort of the red and white walls for the command sector. And then this is another carpet. I think these two are sort of more of a... I call them carpet, but they're not necessarily carpet. This one being more... Oh, actually, that's the tile one. So this would be, yeah, sort of the rough carpet. And then this is sort of like a more colorful carpet with a slightly, like, stucco-y kind of vibe. I think I like this floor here with the green, like the foam green. I think that looks good for the growing areas. So I think we'll do that there. And then these hallways, I still haven't decided what to do with the hallways, but I'm sure that the Lotus will speak to me. Even in the eerie darkness, it looks like some butchery was done here of those monster corpses. Seems pretty spooky to be... I'm not sure who did it, but we need to look around for who likes cutting up monsters in the dark. I can only imagine how scary that would have been to be through this door into a smaller room by yourself with monster corpses in the flickering red darkness of an unpowered ship. That's truly a terrifying prospect. Even more terrifying is the fact that it's taken me forever to get these like power nodes and things built so I can power up this part of the ship. Oh man, is it ever putting up a fight with me. I'd like to get this built as well, so I need 2 super blocks. Where is she? There she is. Can I get that done over here? Refine, 2 super... tech blocks. I keep calling them super blocks. It looks like we have just enough to get 2 of those out, so maybe that'll help me finish this at least. Yeah, I think so. Or they'll go here by accident. Captain Annie had just is finishing her dinner, and she's going over some crew compliment lists when she comes across Lyson here. Now, Lyson is not part of any of the current teams. However, he is a 71% accuracy. Doesn't have a weapon yet, but we can fix that. With a surrender of minus 30. And I believe that Kaylee is going to be easily removed now from this team and replaced with Lyson. So we're going to get him a weapon and welcome him on board the captain's team. Stardate 477, and we leave the very active area here to move on. This is a very dense and happy system. Not a lot of nasty action to be found, but we did have a little bit earlier. We'll take a look at this sector, probably scan this area for some more derelict vessels. Oh, 11. Now that's what I'm talking about. Okay, this was a good day. This was a good day in space today. And it's made all the better by the fact that we now get to wire up this little section here. So I know I want these two to be kind of on their own little thing. We're going to get this guy here connected to this. And probably we can do a little bit of a... We could do something, yeah, like a little bit redundant there. Although we can't quite connect up to that if we do that. That's all right. We'll go through this way. Maybe we don't need to do that. Maybe we just do something like this. This guy, for now, we'll just have this connect up to here. But eventually we're going to daisy chain and build some batteries in this area. And then we can have this one connect down the center. Across to there. This one will connect out from here. And over to here. I guess this is our only connection into that, but that's all right. So we'll have this come loop around like that. Connect up to this guy, and maybe these two can connect up to there. And there we have it. All our hard work today is slowly starting to pay off. I kind of want to get that built. I'm really bummed that we can't really put this in a different position and sneak another light in there. I could put a smaller door in there if I wanted to, but that's looking a little better. And hopefully this temperature will mount up, because now, folks, we are looking at a designed and thought out and mostly ready to go SCS Lotus. I guess we should wait on building those. We're going to wait on building those until we can until we decide to abandon our shuttle bays here. I don't know when to do that, but it's coming up soon. The other thing to do, I think, is we're going to need to wake these guys up at some point, because that's going to give us... What does that give us? I think that's in life support? Facility? Wow, so that gives us basically one of each of the high-level blocks back if we start waking up this crew. So I think it is about time to wake up this crew and put them to work. We need to build out this section here. We need to use those resources to kind of finish getting all of this put in place. But just to give you an idea of what I've been getting up to, I was thinking that the hallways shouldn't be too Spartan. The hallways should be kind of a flex to how beautiful this ship is. And I was thinking about Star Trek, I believe, has kind of a blue carpet, doesn't it? One of the ships does, at least. So we'll do that. We'll get some more lights in here and make sure it's quite nice and bright in some of these hallways. Especially the premiere hallway, this main hallway that people are going to use. But it's all looking a lot more like home. In the hallways, I went with this pink, sort of pinkish reddish wall. I do also like this one. Feels quite Star Trek-y to me. But we're using that for the bedrooms as well, so it feels a little bit like over the top. But if you have any tips for what kind of wall you'd want to see, you got to let me know. But as for right now, what we're going to need to do is get ready for the next episode of Space Haven, and I believe that that is going to involve waking all of these people up. Do I have to do that manually? Can I do this draft, set home ship, surrender? Nope. Logistics off. Jobs? Nope. All right, I guess I have to do that manually, and I don't have much crew lying around here. Jedediah, I want you to come on down here. And I want you to start waking these folks up. Come on down and let's get Lawson out of here. So first he pops the lid on Lawson. Takes him a little while. Are you doing it or? There we go. Now he's doing it. Pops the lid on Lawson and heads over to pop the lid on Lana. Lawson, feeling a little woozy, wakes up. We're gonna dismantle these beds here. Okay, Jedediah, thank you very much, Lana, for getting out of there. We're going to get this. And Tatiana Irie, who was very worried that she was never going to wake up again, pops to and goes to get herself a nice drink. I imagine her mouth is quite dry. I don't know what the hypersleep process does, but I bet it's something like that. Demonius comes to, and Jedediah moves immediately over to open old creepy Bridgie. Demonius takes a look around, like, what's happening? And realizes that they've made it quite a ways and are now ready for the next adventure. I hope you found this episode to be some truly solid content, and we have got a lot going on, and the added scare of more mouths to feed. But I think we're ready for it. I think the Lotus is ready to bloom. It's looking quite full now, and so is the family again, as everybody wakes up. We've got these rooms to finish. In the next episode, I'm going to do those. That's going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to fill in this area here. But mostly, we need to get this ship into some battle. We need to get this ship into some hairy situations and start to see if she can sail on her own. But until the next episode, whatever is going to happen is going to happen. I just don't know. Hopefully, we'll see you in that one, and hopefully you enjoyed this one. But for now, we'll see you in the stars. That's a weird way to end. That's kind of a lame ending. I don't know.